A reminder, Mo Salah just one behind Harry Kane in the Premier League goal-scoring charts now. And Virgil van Dijk looking very relaxed there, Ryan. He wasn't really put under too much pressure on his return to his former club today, was he?
No, which is a surprise, really, because, you know, you'd have thought Southampton would have put him under a lot more pressure. You know, balls down the channels when he's got the ball, pressuring him, because even though he is good on the ball, he can make mistakes, and just build the pressure on him. But, I mean, he walked through the first half just as much time as he wanted on the ball. And Southampton just didn't trouble him or the Liverpool side whatsoever today.
And Liverpool wrapped it up, let's be honest, in that first half, didn't they? With 2 goals you don't like from a defensive point of view.
I don't. I mean, Pellegrino will have to look at this. This is poor, obviously, individual error here from Hugh. There's nothing he can do about this. But the boy has to keep his calm. You know, he looks more nervous than Virgil van Dijk. He's obviously the guy they brought in to pave the way for Virgil to be able to leave Southampton. And he was all over the place. He made a poor mistake after 2 minutes. That was after 6 minutes. And it was just a question of whether Mo Salah saw the run of Firmino or not, but that gives you the answer.
And we mentioned that touch at half-time from Firmino for the second goal. How good was that?
No, I mean, it's just a great goal. You know, 2 players who are in form, and you don't want anyone else for that ball to fall to on his left foot than Mo Salah at the moment. He is on fire when it comes to goal scoring. But like Tim touched on at half-time, the centre-halves got to get their distances right. Once one goes, the second one can't go because the gap's then huge. And you shouldn't be getting that much space in the middle of the goal.
Once Hugh has gone in there, Jack Stevens has to take a view. He has to stay where he is and fill up that middle of the D there, because as soon as he steps out, there's a gaping hole. And Firmino's a fantastic skill, but he only has to put it into that area. And just like Mo Salah, he just continues his run, and the finish is just an inevitable outcome, really.
And 6 goals they've combined this season, Firmino and Salah, and you add Mane. No one's really mentioning Coutinho at the moment, are they?
No, well, they won't do as long as they keep winning and keep scoring as individuals. I mean, no doubt Coutinho, they'll miss him at one because he's such a special player. And Liverpool struggle against the lesser teams when they go back and they defend the edge of the box, you know, unlocking that key. That is what Coutinho was brilliant at. So maybe they will miss him, but form like that, they're not going to at the moment.
OK, all smiles, very comfortable. Jurgen Klopp's 50th Premier League win as Liverpool manager. You can see that his team now in 3rd, and that's the way the top 6 looks. Arsenal, we all think, pretty remote chances now, so you're looking at a top 5. It's getting interesting.
Yeah, it is. You know, 3 spots and 4 teams vying for them Champions League spots, and the results this weekend have just made everyone come closer together. And Man United, in the next 3 games, they've got Liverpool and Chelsea, so huge games. They're at home, so they always do well at home. But they become now big games.
And in terms of Liverpool, when you look at the fixtures that they've got to go to Chelsea and to Liverpool yet this season. But in their next 6, Manchester United that Ryan mentions, before that, home games with West Ham and Newcastle and Watford. So 3 of their next 4 at home and sandwiched into that triple ultra.
Yeah, but this is the English Premier League, and we've seen today it's difficult to predict scores, you know, when teams which are on that list as well fighting for their lives, you know, to stay in the division. So it's very difficult, but they're in a good place, Liverpool. They're in a position where they would want to be at this stage. I would say Tottenham are the form team coming into the fighting for the top 4. Man United having a little bit of a sticky spell. It wasn't a great performance there today, but I think they've got the superstars on the massive money to be able to get them over the line and finish in the top 4. And for me, there is a real negative cloud hanging over Chelsea. You know, they've got an opportunity to play against a team at the bottom of the Premier League tomorrow and climb above Tottenham. So they're going to be looking to do that. If they don't, then it's going to be, I think, very difficult for them to pick themselves up.
You've been down this road sort of February, March time so many times. All those teams are still left in the Champions League. Tim mentioned Chelsea there. We've got Barcelona clashes on the horizon as well. Few in the FA Cup as well. I mean, how significant could they be in terms of the odd point here and there that could be crucial?
Well, it's about rotating your squad and making sure that the players are fresh when they go into whatever game they're going into. Liverpool look like they're in form. Tottenham look like they're in form. So sort of the tiredness and the fatigue goes out the window when it's like that. So, I mean, it's about rotating. You don't want to get injuries at this time, and you don't want to be playing players time and time again. You want to bring freshness in. But when you're in good form, this is the time when you want to play. You don't want to be left out, and you want to produce results. But it is a tricky time when you're in 3 trophies.
And to focus on the next game that every manager says, but Chelsea players, for instance, got Barcelona looming. Manchester United going to Seville the week after. Liverpool this week playing Porto. Does that play on players' minds?
No, they're the games that you want to play in. I think it's more, I talk about fatigue. It's more mental fatigue, really. When you have to, you just touched on it there, Liverpool's next game. If you play in the Champions League on a Wednesday and then you've got a Crystal Palace or you've got a Watford or you've got a team fighting for their lives, that's why the Premier League is so difficult to predict, because you're playing teams who are fighting for their lives, and it's very hard to go to them grounds or even at home and then get yourself up again after that emotional high of the Champions League.
It's difficult to juggle all competitions, but the top teams managed to do it. We saw last season Chelsea won a league. They had no Champions League to worry about. And they've got a manager who's very thorough, likes to prepare on the training field. He's not had that opportunity in some patches this season. Now we come back into the Champions League again. Them teams at the bottom who have got the big teams to play, they'll be hoping that they take their eye off the ball.
It is fascinating. It's